Wanted to see if you could take us through what you were thinking as you saw the car on fire, and just what was going through your head as you decide whether or not to go over there and jump in and respond.
Right. So initially, my Uber driver Abdul and myself, Abdul pulled over, and we were running to this car. And again, like I've said it before, we see the car on fire, and you see this stuff in movies or video games or TV, but it's different when it's real flames in front of you. Excuse me. It's different when it's real flames in front of you. And so I'm running. Initially, I want to be this hero and go help save this guy because I'm an NFL athlete. Work out and stuff. I could easily just unbuckle his seatbelt and be able to just pull him out the car like kind of by force. But then I'm like, okay, as I'm running there, the closer I get, I'm like, and I'll start, my mom is in my head and my family, and and I'm like, I'm risking a lot here. But my Uber driver Abdul, I mean, he went right up to the car. He opened the passenger door. He's talking to this guy, are you alive? You're okay. And then there's a friend group named Arthur and Rita. And Arthur is yelling at Abdul, like back up. Like, we don't know if this car is going to blow up. And Abdul was in it. And, initially, I think, looking back on, I think that kind of motivated me to be like, we got to save this guy. Because I'm a football player or anything, none of that matters. This guy's life is important. This guy has a family, he has kids, and if he can do it, I can get down there and help as well. And the driver was able to get some strength to kind of lean over, and we went down, dragged him out. And then, I picked him up and we were able to move far away. So the car didn't blow up, but I was just happy that we were able to get him out. And the firefighters were able to extinguish the fire before, the car exploded.
KJ, how long would you say that this recovery process took you guys?
Took about 3.5 minutes. Actually, I recorded the whole thing up until I had to pick him up. Obviously, I'm not going to release the video, but I think the video is about 3 minutes and 3 seconds. And, from that time, we picked him up. So I would say about 3.5, maybe 4 minutes. And the firefighters and the ambulance got there pretty fast because after we, pulled them away, they got there pretty fast and let out the fire.
Two-part question. Here's a follow-up. What were you doing in Austin at that time? Where were you coming from? And secondly, did it feel like a lot longer than 3 minutes while you were right there deciding to jump in and help out?
Right. So I was on my way back home, and this is my last weekend in Austin. I'm going back to Miami. So I was with my trainer and a couple guys that I was out training with, and definitely it felt way longer than 3 minutes. Definitely, when you see that fire and just the flames, even in the picture, I mean, it doesn't even give the whole realization of what was going on because the flames are bursting and there's tires popping. That kind of startled all of us and everything like that. So it was definitely felt longer than 3 minutes.
We'll go Kevin and Dane.
Yeah, KJ, have you had any contact with the guy who was in the car since this? I think you had mentioned that you were going to try to seek him out. And also after that, I'm just curious, like the extent to which you think this has changed you as a person.
Right. So the first question, and this is new news. I did find the guy. I found him last night. Just through some mutual friends. It's a couple of my mutual friends that know him and know myself, and then a couple of his friends, had just, I was going through some DMs. They had, DM me telling me, I saved his life, and they were so grateful and happy. So I'm still waiting to, see how he's doing and everything like that. Obviously, I don't want to release his name and everything like that. But we'll at the proper time, if it's right, we'll come out with something and things like that. I still haven't spoke to him, but I do know who he is. And your second question, how has this changed me, man? I mean, I feel like I've always kind of prided myself on being, a leader, and a stand-up guy. And, like I've said in other interviews, like, if it wasn't for the NFL, I would get my master's in criminal justice. I wanted to be in the FBI or the Secret Service. So, ironically, these are the acts that, I was trying to aim to be my profession outside of the NFL. But, obviously, when it's live bullets and, you see this car on fire, it's obviously a lot different, when you got a lot to risk like that. So as far as changing me, I don't think it has changed me as a person, but I can say that, just the experience, it's kind of inspired me to, continue to inspire others and be a leader and a role model. Because, I tell kids all the time, the fact that, people look up to me, my family and kids, or, whoever, inspires me to be myself every day and continue to lead and continue to, even on bad days, to present myself, who I am, first class and things like that. Definitely a crazy experience, like I said, right place, right time. And another thing, it wasn't just me, it was Arthur, it was Rita, it was Abdul, who I've, been in connection with and talking to throughout this week, and, staying in contact with them because they're not really on social media much. So I'm telling them, this story, millions of people are seeing this, and I want you guys to know that people are grateful for you as well. Of course, they're going to talk about the football player, but, those three are heroes.
So just to be clear, you did not know any of those people before, Arthur or Rita before this? Okay.
Absolutely not.
KJ, you mentioned like the fight or flight when you guys were going up to the burning car. Just once you recover the guy, what are the emotions with the four of you, I guess the five of you afterwards?
Right. So definitely in shock. Definitely in shock. We were able to get him out, and, it was still kind of processing. And, I took the picture because I told him, I play football. So, this is going to be a story. And, I knew the story, of course, is going to be, KJ Osborn, the NFL receiver, helped save a guy from a burning car. But I'm like, I want people to see you guys' faces. And, so I kind of thought quickly about that. But everything else, it was still just kind of hit me. And I thought, it was going to be just a normal night and I was going to be able to just go to sleep and, wake up, I'll probably tell my parents and things like that. I'm sure, some story, maybe a small article would have came out about it or something like that. But, it's a story that's, going across the nation and things like that. I wasn't able to sleep that night at all. I was waking up last night still, still kind of, settling down from it. So, definitely I'm just grateful that, God was able to use me to be there at the right time. I continue to say that because, I've never been to Austin, Texas. I'm only here for a couple of weeks to get the foundation of my training. And my trainer moved here and I came here. I was out and I was on my way home and I missed my first Uber. So I'm like, if I would have gotten the first Uber, I would never even have seen that, and then to see this guy, see that we have close mutual friends. So, I'm excited to be able to speak to him privately and, just get a chance to shake his hand or something.
Hey, KJ, for the record, when you guys decided to stop and go help out, were there any other cars in the vicinity? Was there any other help around outside of you guys, or were you guys the only option for that man?
We were the only option. And that's why I applauded Abdul so much, because even as if I was a driver, like I can't say 100% that I would have stopped. And if I did stop, I don't know what I would have did in the situation, but Abdul stopped so fast and we hopped out in the car. Like I said, there was nobody else on the street. I didn't see the crash or hear it because I was on my phone. My head was down. And when I looked up, there was nobody on the street. So I didn't know what was going on at first. And then, like you said, Abdul stopped and Rita and Arthur had stopped right behind us. And, there was no other cars in sight at all.
Jeff?
Hey, KJ, I have a two-parter. I guess, like you alluded to earlier, a lot of people just don't know you as a Vikings receiver, as an NFL player. So what is it like for you to be labeled a hero in this situation and save somebody's life? And what inspired you to pursue a career in criminal justice if it wasn't for football?
Right. How does it feel to be labeled as a hero? I guess it feels good. I was talking to family about this. I knew the story would blow up, obviously, but I was doing it, out of the kindness of my heart, and to be genuine. Like I said, football or game mattered, at that point at all. I was just being, trying to be a good person. I would want somebody to do that for my brother or my dad or uncle or whatever, or even yourself. To be able to try to help somebody, from a burning fire, no matter, who I was or who anybody else was. So it is, humbling and, I'm grateful that, I was able to be there. But as I was telling my, my media team, I haven't been trying to make the story about me. I'm so happy that the guy's alive. I had help. And, I'm definitely grateful that, I was able to be there. Just so happened, of course, that I was a football player and, I wanted to pursue that other career. And as far as the FBI and Secret Service, I've got that question a lot before, and I've always told them I think it's from TV shows, just the normal TV shows. When I was younger, I would always watch First 48, or I like the crime movies, or what was the movie? One of the crime movies. I can't think of it at the top of my head, but these movies that they're it's like White House Down. That's the thing. I think I'm thinking of that, like White House Down, and those type of movies where you have the Secret Service and they're saving people and type of thing like that, and just solving crime. I think I just found myself interested in that, and that's just something that I pursued. And obviously the NFL is working right now, but definitely something that could happen down the line or something.
Craig?
Hey, KJ, excuse me. Congrats on this. Just wondering if you could feel the heat from the flames, how intense they were, and then what you and the other Samaritans did to try to keep the motorist as calm as possible in that situation, and help him realize that you were going to be able to provide that help.
Right. So initially, no, I did not feel any flames, because when we were kind of quickly game planning on what to do, I was standing, pretty far back. I might have been like 15 yards back, because as we were trying to discuss what we were going to do. And then when I got to the car, it was like immediately, I got down there, pulled him out, picked him up, went away. So I didn't really get a chance to, thankfully, feel much flames or anything like that. I did kind of have like an oversized hoodie, so I was kind of worried that a flame may kind of get to us. So I thought, when I initially ran down there, I should maybe take it off, but I didn't. And no, I didn't feel any flames. And at the time, the driver, he was still in the daze a little bit. I think he may have went unconscious for a little bit. I think he started to feel the heat on his legs, and that's when it kind of woke him up. And he was just a driver that had just gotten in a car accident. So as I picked him up, and I'm carrying him. He was talking, and I was just telling him, I got you. And but that was pretty much it. Before the police got there, so it was no real conversation or anything like that.
Any other questions for KJ? Go ahead, Chris.
Hey, KJ, congrats on the great job done there. I hope you don't mind if I ask you a question not related to that. I'm wondering if you've had any conversations with Adam Thielen just about his future. I mean, he said last night there were discussions about his contract. He might have to take a pay cut to return. I'm wondering if you have been talking to him at all, or if you have any thoughts on whether he might be back with the Vikings in 2023.
Yeah, so I haven't talked to him this offseason much. I seen something on Instagram that was funny. I sent it to him. We talked about that. But as far as the contract and anything, no, I haven't spoke to him about that. The last time I seen him was in the locker room. And, obviously I know it's a business, so I'm not sure what's going to happen. But, I hugged him. I had a little bit of tears in my eyes, and I was just thanking him because I wasn't sure what's going to happen. I've said it before, Adam is one of the, if not the best teammate, besides my best friend that plays for the Seahawks, is the best teammate I've ever had. Ever since I came to the Minnesota Vikings, I got drafted, him reaching out to me, texting me, calling me, he wasn't like big time me or, being this, big time Pro Bowl receiver and the guy I watch highlights of and things like that. Taking me under my wing, no matter any situation. I can't tell if Adam is ever having a bad day. He's coming in the building, he's yelling, he's running, he got his coffee, great energy. Awesome dad, husband, teammate. So I haven't talked to him about the contract and stuff like that. So I know we'll see what happens, but that's the last time I had seen him.